Park in Arcadia is a pop-up mutual aid hub where you can pick up anything from clothing to food and hygiene supplies. If you're in Los Angeles County and in need of food, call Omni Ministries at 310-631-1557. Donations can be made to Zelle, Omni Ministries, Inc. at yahoo.com. Parking Lot I outside of Rose Bowl Stadium is a pop-up mutual aid hub where you can pick up everything from clothing to food to hygiene supplies for free. To volunteer or donate to help victims of the fire, contact the LA Emergency Network at enla.org. The Cochran Firm and Ivy McNeil, Wyatt, Purcell and Diggs, Jasmine Canick, and others have launched a GoFundMe specifically targeting Altadena. Visit LA Fires. The impacted Black community urgently needs help on GoFundMe, and donate to help Black evacuees fighting for survival. Airbnb is offering free temporary housing to people displaced by the fires. Call 211 to sign up. The LA Chamber of Commerce is stepping up to help you sort out insurance claims and other paperwork. Reach them at 213-580-7500. South LA Cafe has free groceries, clothing, and water available at 1700 Browning Boulevard in LA. Track their giveaways or volunteer through their Instagram at South LA Cafe. U-Haul is donating short-term storage free of charge for 30 days to evacuees. Shelter for small or large animals can be accessed by calling 211. A Black-led coalition of community organizations is offering support and resources in the Altadena area at the Flint Ridge Center at 236 West Mountain Street in Pasadena. For comprehensive lists of resources for housing, food, shelter, and more, visit Mutual Aid LA Network on Instagram. Praying for LA and standing with you. KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs, fantasies, and fetishes? Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this is gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff?
The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss you. Is there something wrong with that?
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my neck.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
Zoe Williams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason.
If you notice in yourself that there's a part of you that at times might self-sabotage relationships, maybe because you feel yourself get anxious, or you feel like your mind spins and it considers all these possibilities, or maybe you get triggered and you explode and then later you regret it and you think, what am I doing? Today I want to share with you a rarely discussed reason why we self-sabotage and share with you a psychological tool that you can use to overcome it. Because when we're in a new great relationship and our heart is opening and we're expanding, it's really common actually that for all of us to go through patterns of wanting to maybe push back, pull back, or sabotage the relationship. The difference is those who can overcome that self-sabotage know how to use this particular tool. So what does self-sabotage look like? Well, let me give you an example. One of my clients recently is very self-aware, and she said, Matt, I know that I self-sabotage. How can I manage this? I'm dating this guy. Things are going really well. He went away for the weekend, and my mind is just spinning. He was late when he was going to text me back. He's back in town. Now he wants to connect. I'm feeling this energy of wanting to kind of push him away. That's classic self-sabotage. No relationship is perfect, so maybe he breaks an agreement or is kind of late to call or text, and the mind thinks, well, he might be off with somebody else, and you get jealous inside, and so you don't communicate it, but you push him away, you punish him. So he feels that you've pulled back, so he pulls back, and the two of you argue, and then in the beginning of the relationship, because there isn't a strong enough connection, the thing kind of dissolves away and disintegrates. That's self-sabotage. So let me give you another example. Maybe you're going to meet your boyfriend for dinner, and they had to stay late at work. And so they're a few minutes late to dinner, maybe 15, 20 minutes late. And for whatever reason, that just triggers you. And so you want to be nice, but you just feel angry at your boyfriend. And so you kind of stay quiet all night. You're a little bit cold throughout dinner. And then when they bring it up, you explode on them and you lay into them and you say, you always stay out late. Work is always a priority over us. And like you say things that you regret. They say things they regret. And it creates distance and a wedge in that relationship. So what can you do if you're finally in a great relationship to make sure that a self-sabotage pattern doesn't get the best of this relationship? Well, one of my mentors, his name is Dr. Gay Hendricks. He has a PhD from Stanford. He came up with this beautiful psychological principle called the upper limit problem. Just like a thermostat. Imagine a thermostat in your home and how you set that thermostat to a certain temperature. If the temperature in that room gets too hot, the thermostat registers that, it kicks in air conditioning, brings the temperature back into the range that you set. Temperature of the room gets too cold, thermostat senses it, kicks on the heater, brings it back up to the temperature that you set it. Well, you and I have a thermostatic setting for the amount of love that we allow and experience in our lives. This thermostatic setting lives in our subconscious mind. Every one of us has a thermostatic setting for the amount of love, positive energy, joy, happiness that we feel. And here's what's wild. If whatever your normal is, if you exceed that because you're in a new amazing relationship and so you're experiencing more intimacy, you're experiencing more joy, more love, your amount of positive energy goes up, your thermostat, because it hasn't been recalibrated yet, will go off and say, whoop, 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 we've got more love than we're used to, and it will kick in the air conditioner, so to speak, your self-sabotage to bring that love right back down into normal. So step number one, how do you spot it? You implement a principle called notice what you're noticing. And so you become aware of what you're noticing as it's happening. You become aware of the thoughts that you're thinking. Are they aligned with what you want? Of the feelings that you're having? And here's what you notice.
Notice what you're noticing. Sounds like self-awareness. Be aware of yourself, how you're showing up, how everything that you're noticing is affecting you. Being able to see things objectively and not through the lens of your attachment wounding. Facing the discomfort of disconnection reveals unhealed attachment wounds. We're talking about it tonight. The gray area of relational pauses, growth, manipulation, or avoidance. When pauses are necessary versus when they are misused. 1-800-920-1580. Recognizing emotional manipulation hidden behind needing space. How does monkey branching tie into that? 1-800-920-1580. How unspoken boundaries complicate relationship pauses. Right? Can pauses be both a healthy coping mechanism and a toxic behavior? How does emotional clarity prevent pauses from devolving into avoidance? Are frequent pauses in relationship a sign of toxicity or resilience? Communication is the cornerstone of ethical pauses, preventing relational harm. True or false? Do you agree or disagree with that concept? I'll say it again. True or false? Communication is the cornerstone of ethical pauses, preventing relational harm. Do you agree or disagree? Radical accountability during relational pauses, right? Healing your triggers without blame. Taking ownership of your emotional responses during pauses. I guess if you got something meaningful to do internally, you won't be that easily distracted, right? In a perfect world. How do you discern between a legitimate relational trigger and an unresolved personal wound? 1-800-920-1580. We got people on the line. I want to get him in here right now. John, Mountain View. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
First off, greetings and blessings to the chat. Making sure that the prayers go out to California. And also, thank you for a week's worth of beatings.
A week worth of beatings? These are beatings? Pass a shot.
Well, again, I call them beatings because they're meetings of the mind and they're missions of the soul. And yes, they hurt, but nonetheless.
All right, I got you.
Ghosting or pausing? Like DNA tests and diamond testers?
Here we go. Come on. I'm listening.
I'm just asking the question, what is it like? I'm asking the question, what is it like? Give me an answer.
No, I think a pause is good. I see it as a chance to reset oneself, right? And I do believe that accountability, authenticity, transparency, honesty, these are all things I learned after not doing them, right? I think all of these things are important if you need this time for yourself to kind of recalibrate, to look at yourself. Again, relationships, especially, if you go back to, I think, show number 2 of this week, and I talked about how we were talking about effort, right? And I was talking about how the effort isn't in the relationship, the effort is in oneself, right? So if you get what I'm saying? So if you take the pause to put in the effort to deal with you, attachment wounds, fear, abandonment issues, all of the idiosyncrasies within your own spirit. If you take that time to deal with that, now go back to shows even further back when I say, hey, you need some self-victories. So during these pauses, right, I think it's important to be able to come back to the relationship with a victory or two, or maybe just one. Do you see what I'm saying? I think you'd be better. I think both partners would be better. I think now we can connect. And remember, the pause is based on this ethical conversation we had. What is that ethical conversation? The pause doesn't mean the relationship is over, right? The pause means this is us going off into our corners to deal with ourselves for an agreed upon amount of time. And then we come back refreshed, renewed, reinvigorated. Do you understand what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Doc, it all makes sense. But back to the diamond tester and the DNA test. Just like the boundary or having this pause or ghosting, it's only effective and you're not scared if it's true in you.
Ooh, that's why I wasn't going to answer your question, because I knew you was. Keep going. You're not finna pull me into your spider web, John. I see you, man. Come on.
The truth of the matter is just like the scale that we use as a thermometer for those of y'all who live on the cold climate is using the heat, and those of us who are living in calmer and quieter situations, it's still the same scale. The truth of the matter is are you going to use it properly or not?
Right.
You're going to abuse this thing, use it to its greatest degree because you're selfish, or are you going to use this to the greater good of all of us in the house?
But that depends on the two people we're talking about, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Your pause or your ghosting, let's use the term not ghosting. Let's call it taking a knee. Let's call it turtle shelling. Let's also call it monk work. The simple fact is these fastings that we need, they're necessary. They're vital. They're good. Are you going to use them right?
Right.
And there it is.
Man.
That's all I got. I want to
Man,
hear what Mississippi got.
you already know Mississippi finna act up. I already know Mississippi about to act up, brother. But let me just say
Yes,
this.
sir.
Guess what you just did, my friend?
Salute to all again. Blessings for the folks in Cali. Mountain View's in the house.
Mountain View is in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building, like Denise, she's a new caller. Hey, Denise, now's the time to call in. She called in. She hung up. She called back. Come on, Denise, get back in here. The number to dial, 1-800-920-1580. Listen, the power of the pause. A deeper look at how perceived disconnection can create room for authentic reconnection, right? Human relationships, man, they need pauses, right? Pauses are often dismissed as ominous precursors to disconnection, abandonment, or failure. However, a closer examination reveals their profound potential as alchemical spaces for healing, transformation, and authentic reconnection, a deepening of connection. Ooh, when approached consciously. Pauses can serve as a mirror reflecting unresolved wounds, unmet needs, and the often subconscious dynamics that underline our interpersonal and intrapersonal lives. For the last hour and 20 minutes, we explored the dual nature of pauses, both as tools for growth and as mechanisms of avoidance, and examining the radical accountability necessary to transcend their potential for harm, right? A pause in a relationship, unlike ghosting or avoidance, is deliberate, communicative, and purposeful, right? It is not a termination, but a suspension designed to provide space for reflection, recalibration, and personal growth. Attachment theory, as explored by John Bowlby and Mary Ainsworth and 1,000 others, right, underscores the critical role of attachment styles in shaping how pauses are perceived and navigated. For instance, individuals with anxious attachment may interpret a pause as rejection or abandonment, while avoidantly attached individuals may use pauses as a pretext for emotional detachment. Thus, the intent behind a pause is paramount. It is a gateway to deeper intimacy or a shield against vulnerability. When we come forward, you already know who we about to talk to. Y'all know who she is. You better know. Nikki from the SIP, the deaconess from Mississippi, about to give us some food for thought.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
The following is not a contest and is a paid advertisement by Family Vacation Getaways with the purpose of soliciting sales or vacation ownership. For complete details, please visit fvgradio.com. If you want a complimentary stay in Cancun at a luxury resort, then Family Vacation Getaways may have your ticket to paradise. We're giving away a 5-day and 4-night stay to the first qualified 50 callers who can name an animal that lays eggs and is not a bird. An animal that lays eggs and is not a bird. Do you know it? Call now, 800-868-6431, 800-868-6431. You may also be eligible for an exciting bonus vacation to Orlando, Florida for just $398. And don't worry about anything ruining your plans. We can extend your travel up to 18 months. Name an animal that lays eggs and is not a bird, and you may be eligible to get a complimentary Cancun resort stay and an optional bonus vacation to Orlando for just $398. What are you waiting for? Call 800-868-6431. 800-868-6431. Again, call 800-868-6431 and give us your answer.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Autopsy Initiative provides a second autopsy free of charge for victims' families who have lost their loved ones due to a police-related death. The services offered through the initiative include the completion of a second autopsy, disclosure of preliminary findings, and a final autopsy report. A police-related death is when an individual is harmed by police officers using deadly force, which results in an individual's death. Police-related death includes in-custody deaths, including those that arise during contact with law enforcement officers during arrest, pursuit, booking, transport, or incarceration. The Autopsy Initiative has a team of board-certified pathologists on call. An autopsy request may be completed by anyone with a close relationship with the victim, which may include the victim's spouse, partner, relative, close friend, or lawyer. To request a free second autopsy for a victim of police violence, please visit knowyourrightscamp.com. That's knowyourrightscamp.com. Then click on Autopsy, then click on Request. At KBLA, we believe in justice for victims of police violence. We say their names, and we don't black down. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. More. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Woke up this morning with a smile on my face. Jumped out of bed, took a shower, dressed, cleaned up my place, made me some breakfast. Two scrambled eggs, grits, grab my keys, grab my purse, grab my jacket, off to work, beaming all the way down Third. Is it the way you love me, baby? Is it the way you love me, baby? Yeah. 4:30, can't wait to get home.
Well, welcome to another Friday night. We've started a new series on how some of the coping patterns and strategies for a child who's not safe, their survival tools, they actually become patterns in adult life that become maladaptive and start to do a lot of damage to themselves and to relationships. But then the people find that they're like prisons. They want to get out of them, but they can't get out of them. Something resists getting out of them. There's safety and a sense of normality there that keep them stuck in these very destructive patterns. And today what I want to do is look at abandonment. So abandonment is one of the deepest wounds that comes out of complex trauma. And because of that, the child develops extreme ways of coping to try to make sure it'll never happen again. And those ways become, in adult life, very destructive, and they actually prevent healthy relationships, and they do a lot of damage within healthy relationships. But yet what the person finds is, because of that abandonment wound, they expect everybody to abandon to abandon them, and then they actually set up relationships so that they will be abandoned. So they actually start creating abandonment, or they pick people who aren't emotionally available who will abandon them. And so they find themselves hating abandonment, never wanting it to happen, but creating abandonment. So they're stuck in a loop, which is actually a prison for them. So that's what I want to look at this evening, and I hope it will really help you, because so many people who have this life trap don't even know that they have it. They just begin to realize that they're doing extreme amount of damage. But then when they go to change and know they want to change, something in them resists changing, and they don't change, and they're stuck.
Wow. I think he broke it down. Did he break it all the way down? It was broken down to the very last compound. We have our resident deaconess on the phone right now. Nikki from Mississippi. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Wow. We went from love to fasting pause.
Okay. Come with it, Nikki. Come with it.
I don't understand. Now, everybody remember I'm secure, so I'm not in out. But I thought the relationship purpose was supposed to be so two become one, we grow together.
Mm-hmm.
If we're pausing, but let's assume, I don't understand what world that would go on in, but let's assume two people agree to pause. When you fast, part of that process is cleansing.
Mm-hmm.
If you tell me about pausing and fasting, what I'm going to get cleansed from is you.
Ooh. Say word. Keep going. Keep going, Nikki.
Because in the spirit place, if you tell me that you need the pause or time away apart to deal with something, in my mind's eye, one or the other needs to deal with something more than the other partner. So if you need that, then we need a clean break for you to go deal with what you need to deal with. And that's okay. It'll hurt me. I'm going to miss you. All that's fine. When you fast, you are now putting yourself under the most pressure in the spirit realm that you can possibly be under.
Wait. Stay right there. When you fast, you are putting yourself under the heaviest weight in the spirit realm that you could possibly carry. Stay right there. When we come forward, we're going back to Mississippi because Nikki is about to drop one on us.
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. Rudy Giuliani has settled a $150 million defamation case with 2 black Georgia election workers. They agreed to let him keep his property in exchange for compensation and a promise not to defame them. Sean Diddy Combs is facing new allegations of raping a woman when she was 16. She claims he offered her a ride, gave her a drink that left her groggy, and took her to another location to assault her. Indiana Governor Mike Braun has ended DEI initiatives in state government. One of his 19 executive orders prohibits state resources from supporting DEI programs or training that endorse preferential treatment based on race, color, ethnicity, or national origin. And Black New York City Mayor Eric Adams has unveiled a $650 million Bridge to Home plan to assist homeless and mentally ill individuals in the city. Run by New York City Health and Hospitals, it offers treatment in a home-like setting before transitioning them to permanent housing. I'm Amber Payton on the Black Information Network, your home for Black News First.
Every business faces challenges, but shipping shouldn't be one of them. Turn shipping to your advantage with USPS Ground Advantage from the United States Postal Service. Learn how at USPS.com/advantage. USPS Ground Advantage. Simple, affordable, reliable.
Now that Donald J. Trump has been elected to a second term as president, please join the Empowerment Congress and KBLA Talk 1580 to examine the question, where do we go from here? Chaos or democracy? At the Charles R. Drew University of Medicine and Science on Saturday, January 25th. Some of LA's top elected officials, Representative Sidney Comlager Dove, Mayor Karen Bass, Supervisor Holly Mitchell, and City Council President Marquise Harris Dawson will be on hand for what promises to be a lively and informative conversation. Doors open at 8 a.m. The general session, moderated by Tavis Smiley and broadcast live on KBLA Talk 1580, begins at 9 a.m. The event is free, but seating is limited and registration is required. Go to the Empowerment Congress website at www.empowermentcongress.org to register. Where do we go from here? Chaos or democracy? Come join the Empowerment Congress and KBLA Talk 1580, Saturday, January 25th at the Charles R. Drew University of Medicine and Science. Doors open at 8 a.m. The free program starts at 9 a.m. Registration is required at www.empowermentcongress.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. If you need help getting your resume in order, finding job training, or landing a job, we've got 3 great options for you. First, the City of Los Angeles has WorkSource centers across the area offering free job support. The California Workforce Development Board can help you with everything from GED prep to vocational training at no cost to you. On the federal level, the Department of Labor's American Job Centers offer a full range of services for job seekers and businesses alike. Visit careeronestop.org, or for more info, just call California's Help Center or visit cwdb.ca.gov or call 916-657-1440. For the City of Los Angeles programs, go to ewdd.lacity.gov or call 213-744-7300. All these services are free to help you get your next job. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
The smarter way to clean your floors. It's time to make the swap. Swiffer Power Mop.
Introducing the new Swiffer Power Mop, the all-in-one tool that gives you a mop and bucket clean in half the time. The solution's built right in, so no heavy bucket, and the pad has hundreds of scrubbing strips to get deep into grout. Don't mop harder, mop smarter.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Dear Sadhguruji, I have a question for you. I'm a very emotional person, and I often find it very difficult to emotionally detach myself from a situation that I know that is not good for me. Like, I can see that this is not going somewhere where I want it to go, but it's very difficult to divert my mind and my emotions away from that. How do you think I can handle that situation? I would really like to know your perspective on it.
There's a whole lot of talk in the world about, the head and the heart business. But the way you think is the way you feel. And the way you feel is the way you think. For different people, different things run first. For some people, their thoughts, today largely because of the type of education, for most people their thoughts run ahead of their emotions. But still there is a sizable percentage of people for whom their emotions run ahead of their thought. Now what Sonakshi is asking is, there are situations that you don't wish to be in, but emotions are tangled up. So thought keeps going there, unknowingly you keep walking in the direction. What you need to understand is, thought is agile. Today my thought says she is the most wonderful person. Tomorrow, if she does something that I don't like, immediately my thought says, she is no good. But if my emotions have gone ahead with this wonderful person, emotions are not that agile, they cannot turn around so quickly, it's little sappy, it takes time. In the meantime you struggle because thought says this is not okay, but emotion is still entangled. Now what do I do about this? Don't try to control your emotions or thoughts, because the very nature of your mind is such that I don't want to think about this person means that's the only person I'm going to think about for the rest of my life. So, when compulsive thoughts and emotions come, first and foremost thing that you do is, you simply see them for what they are.
Sadhguru, I love it. He said, thoughts are agile. And he said, emotions are not. That was a very interesting take he took there. I want to know where Nikki stands, because Nikki was already cooking, and I want to get her thought on where she left off. Very powerful stuff she was saying. She was like, nope, if you need space, if you need to pause, you need to pack your things and go. You need to bounce like bad checks. Talk to me, Nikki. Why is that your position?
Because in the spirit place, if you decide that we need to pause and we agree, you are in an emotional place because you got to go deal with whatever made you think we needed to pause. I may or may not be in that place. Every girl in the red dress and man that smells good is showing up when you fast. I smell bacon, I smell barbecue, I want a hamburger, I don't even eat cows, all that.
Right.
Is what you are inviting in the fast. The universe is going to say, okay, let's test you and see if we can work this out. Now, while you're doing that, working it out over there with you doing whatever, and I'm not saying you're being tempted beyond your ability to say no, but you are being sweated while you're over there. I, who may not have been in the same location you were in, deciding to take the pause, I'm doing the same thing now because I agreed, because it's us. But what I'm getting in the spirit cleansed from in that test is you. Now, whether or not the universe blesses us to come back together, we don't know yet. But it is not fair, just or two becoming one for you to emotionally hold me in this place of pause.
So
challenge you for the woman
let me be clear.
who can stay there.
Let me be clear. Are you saying the pause is a holding pattern? That was very interesting. Please continue.
It is, because we haven't left the relationship, is what you said.
Mm-hmm.
But we took a step away.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's a holding pattern.
Come on.
Which is why the fast becomes so much more challenging, because everything else in the atmosphere is now going to press that place. And if you are a secure person, like myself, okay, if you need to go, bye-bye. Because if by the time you come back, I have now left that space where I was with you. See, I'm not there anymore. Now, we might be in a better place because perhaps you or I has gotten out through the cleansing, whatever we needed to get out, but I didn't hold you there. Now, women are emotional people. I'm not saying they can't do it, but rare is the woman I would submit that will agree to a pause and not have the anticipation that you would return to her. And if you return to her, somewhere in the body that remembers, she is going to reflect upon what we were before you left.
I hear you.
So now if you are dealing with two people who are not secure, and the emotion of what is happening to you in the fast, because that atmospheric pressure is coming, how then are you taking that back into a place where you are not and she is not the same? The whole point of the fast is to cleanse, which means you are not the same when you end that fast as you were when you started. But I cannot emotionally hold this person in a position while I go work me out and get cleansed, because I may just get cleansed of you.
Ooh. Andy is like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Andy here goes, whoa.
See, you forget the spiritual part. We supposed to be joining together. The word says, let no man put asunder.
Let no man put asunder. Yes, I hear
Now,
you.
if you putting us asunder because you pressing pauses, well, we're going to have some problems here. And I want us to be cognizant of that. I'm not saying there aren't people who don't need it or who it might not work for. But we both got to agree. That's why I'm saying pause is not pause. Pause is go. But you can come back. And I can come back.
Right.
But not pause, because you have to remember you are holding the emotional space of the person in a holding pattern. We're just circling. We're not landing. And I may not be able to resist the temptations that are now coming, the atmospheric pressure, because I want bacon and I want hamburger and I smell barbecue and I want ice cream. And
Right.
I want ho-hos. I want Twinkies.
I hear you.
See, understand what you do if you say fast. Most of us are not successful except for maybe at Easter. And they're probably not doing the 40 days.
Right.
Why is that? So you're going to put that in the relationship? No.
I hear you, Nikki.
No.
I just wonder if the audience is taking all of this in. I love the perspective.
Food for thought, people. Food for thought.
Come on, Nikki. Guess what you just did?
Mississippi in the building. I love
Mississippi is in the building. People are calling now. They want to talk. Now we got Carolina 1 in Florence, South Carolina. And then we got Ronan Indianapolis. You already know Ronan finna act up. When we come forward, we're going to take these final calls and see what their thought is on tonight's topic.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
I don't even know where to start with health insurance. Do I just, call a hospital and ask them?
Look up Covered California. That's their whole deal, making it easier to get and pay for health insurance.
Okay, but can I afford it?
Yes. They work with a bunch of health insurance companies. I pay something like $10 a month, and it's actually really good coverage.
Wait, what? How did I not know this?
You just needed to know who to ask.
If you've got questions, Covered California can help every step of the way. Enroll by January 31st. Covered California. This way to health insurance.
1 in 3 children born today will get diabetes. This sad prediction by the Centers for Disease Control will come true if millions of Americans don't improve their lifestyles, especially by changing what they eat, how much they eat, and how active they are every day. Every 23 seconds, another American gets diabetes. Stop diabetes before it starts. To learn more, contact the American Diabetes Association or download our free diabetes education programs at learningaboutdiabetes.org.
Lena Bloom for the Bail Project. Imagine you're stuck in a jail cell and you can't afford bail and someone offers you a way out. Just plead guilty and you can go home and kiss your kids goodnight. What do you do? What thousands have. You plead guilty whether you are or not. Cash bail makes poverty a crime. That's why the Bail Project helps those who can't afford it while fighting to end cash bail. Because freedom should be free. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Time is up. The IRS is in full collection mode for 2024, issuing liens, levies, and garnishments to anyone who has a past tax debt or unfiled tax returns. Don't wait till it's too late. Your paycheck and bank accounts are at risk of being seized. Call now and stop the collection process today. If you're living check to check, no matter how much you're making, you still may qualify for the Fresh Start programs offered by the IRS to reduce or even eliminate your tax debt. It's just a 5-minute call to get your options, and it's free. If you owe back taxes, have years of unfiled tax returns, under audit, have a wage or bank levy, or finally just want to sleep better, business or personal, call the experts at Republic Tax Relief while there's still time. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and tough. This veteran-owned company has the fight you need to take on the IRS. Don't go at it alone. The call is free. Call their hotline number now, 800-652-1714. That's 800-652-1714. Find out if you qualify today. Call 800-652-1714 or go to republictaxrelief.com.
My mom has decided to learn to paint, and she's good.
My dad's now into creative cuisine, and I've already put on 6 pounds.
Learning new things comes with age.
My mom, she started forgetting my name and what we're talking about.
Forgetting well-known things doesn't. Memory loss may be a sign of Alzheimer's disease. Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
You know you want some more. More. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
At the same time, all the corruption and justice, the same crimes, always a problem if we do it, don't fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the VOR. As you already know, my playlist is my co-host. We've had a wonderful vibe all night long, playing some neo classics, man, some soul vibes. It was a good look tonight. We got a couple callers. I want to get them in because we're at the last 10 minutes of the show. We might as well get them in now. Carolina 1, what are your thoughts on tonight's topic, my friend?
It's been a good one. It's been a good one. What's going on, bro?
Man, I'm alive and well, man. Alive and well. How are you, brother?
Beautiful. Can't complain.
Now, Carolina 1, You know you can't curse, right?
Oh, yeah, I got you.
Okay, cool.
I'm going to make it real quick. You know what I mean? But, we're in a microwave society. Pause and feel like you're dying. And nobody can't wait to eat another meal. You can't wait to cook it on the stove. Like, you know what I mean? Nah, you're in it right now, but you're getting it unhealthy. So, that pause probably what you need to digest what you already got on your plate, what you done ate. Like, so people want it so quick. You want it ASAP. You messing up. You need some patience. Like, straight up, that pause might be exactly what your little relationship needs.
I hear you. Like a fast in your body. Sometimes when you fast, it's like hitting a reset button. Everything gets flushed out, and then you back. You're refreshed. You're energized, right?
Exactly. Exactly. Like you thinking about the next meal, and you still got food in your mouth.
He got a point. Come on. He's pro.
So digest that first. And then get what you really could grow to. Like, sometimes the best thing you can do in life is challenge yourself. Like, you can't build muscle unless you challenge yourself.
Come on,
so,
resistance training. Let's go.
What you need a lot of times. But hey, though, I'm a peel out. I got a bust a move, but it's been beautiful talking out.
I appreciate it. Like Thank you, brother. We appreciate you, man. You brought South Carolina in the building. And here we go. You already know what this is about to be. Ronan from Indianapolis. Here we go. Please, Ronan. Everybody take notes. Ronan is going to be very quippy. He's got quips. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic, Ronan?
It put a lot of light in what I need to do. I don't fast as I should. The ghosting part, those are the people who I find toxic. But most times I'm guilty of exercising a carnal cleanse.
Go ahead.
And sometimes I entertain situations that don't nourish me emotionally. So it ends up leaving cavities. I end up having regrets. And I need to take that time to like really watch what I consume as far as like people in my space or time or energy. And that's something I think I need to delve deeper into in this new year, because some people are like relationship junk food, and they're not good for you.
Relationship junk food. Can we have an example of relationship junk food?
There are some people who we always have this thing where in our carnal mind, we see the red flags, but we use them as napkins. And we go in there and partake in it, even though they are who they are. That only reflects how deprived you are as far as the right relationship nutrients.
Interesting.
So that's something I left in 2024, because that's a whole nother show in itself. But the thing is, like, when I mentioned earlier, the fear of obtaining the very thing you want, only to lose it, is because of your hypervigilance due to untreated wounds and everything.
But you do know sometimes God gives you what you want in order to teach you, right?
Yeah.
Watch it. Sometimes God gives you what you want in order to teach you a lesson. Oh, you think this is going to... Oh, okay, you can have it. Oh, that's what you want? Here. And then when you get it, underwhelm sets in. Like, oh, wow. See? Sometimes you need to get exactly what you imagine, so you could realize that you're not very imaginative.
I think I learned that lesson late last year. I said, you got to go back in the drawing board, because what you got was a Wile E. Coyote special. That wasn't it.
Hey, man, guess what you just did, brother?
Brought Indianapolis back in the building.
Naptown is in the building. You already know what it is. Don't weaponize the pause. While pauses can foster growth, they can also be weaponized to deflect accountability or to control the narrative. Patrick Carnes' concept of trauma bonding sheds light on how unresolved wounds can entangle partners in cycles of manipulation and avoidance. A pause when used as a form of relational gaslighting, subtly distorts a partner's sense of security, leaving them questioning the stability of the relationship. The distinction between a pause and the silent treatment lies in intent. I always tell you, intentions speak louder than behaviors. Behaviors speak louder than words, but intention speaks louder than both of them. The former seeks clarity and growth. The latter inflicts harm under the guise of self-preservation. Avoidance, masquerading as pausing, often triggers a cascade of unhealed wounds, forcing individuals to confront their deepest insecurities. Yet, as Krishnamurti reminds us, the ability to observe without evaluation is the highest form of intelligence. Pauses, when approached mindfully, invite us to observe the stories we tell ourselves about rejection, inadequacy, and worthlessness. Pauses can be used as a catalyst for growth. In their highest form, pauses act as a portal for self-reconnection. They challenge us to confront the fears, anxieties, and unmet needs that often drive our relationship dynamics. Pema, you all know Pema? Pema Chodron's teachings on embracing discomfort emphasizes the importance of leaning into the void created by a pause. This space, right? Listen to what I'm really saying. I'm really saying you can take space while holding space for who you love. You can take space for self-love while holding space for your lover. Are you listening? Can I say it? You can take space for self-love while holding space for your lover. Listen, I love these conversations. We start them. It's up to you to finish them. This week has been a powerful week. Really quickly, I want to thank Tavis Smiley, Dominique DePrima, the First Things First show. I want to thank the church in Pasadena that was the host of the show today. A lot of people came out. Tavis posted a picture, tagged me in the picture. A lot of people have been showing love for my family, for what we're going through because of the fires. I want to take this moment to say thank you. I love you. I appreciate you. And we gonna be all right. I'm gonna holla at y'all next week with a whole slew of new topics. Love y'all. Deuces.
From then on, I knew that by you being in my life, things were destined to change. 'Cause love, so many people use your name in vain. Love.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. State Farm will renew policies for homeowners affected by the Los Angeles County wildfires, reversing their previous decision to drop coverage. They have received over 7,400 claims